Welcome back, guys. It's Two Moms in a Pod. I'm Kim.
I'm Ari. I feel like it's been a while.
It has.
Well, yeah,
because we recorded and then we didn't see each other all last week, right?
No, it's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
No?
Oh, yeah, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Yeah, because we recorded, the 10th?
Yeah, you're right. I have no sense of time sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So, how have you been?
I've been good. I've been recovering from surgery. For those of you that don't know, I got a BBL. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna spit my water on your No shame in that. Hey, if you want to go get a BBL, to each their own.
I'm just kidding. No. I had to get oral surgery, so I really couldn't be talking last week at all. So we had pre-planned to record 2 episodes 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't seen each other for 2 weeks. I know, so sad. I missed you.
Me too. I missed you. Nah, I didn't miss myself. Oh no. So how was that?
It was scary.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, but they strapped me down.
Yeah.
They strapped me down, and then they covered my eyes. And after that, I don't remember anything. But it was scary being strapped.
Heck yeah. That would have given me so much anxiety to know that I'm being... And they covered your eyes?
Yeah.
Did they tell you why they needed to cover your eyes?
No, they just covered my eyes. Maybe because they didn't want me to have my eyes open and looking at them while they're doing surgery.
Oh, they didn't put you to sleep?
No, yeah, they did, but I don't know why. They just covered my eyes.
Oh, heck no. I couldn't. No.
I know. I was freaking out. So the first thing they did was the girl put that thing where they take your blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so she had my arm down, and then out of nowhere, I just hear the strap. And then I feel it around my wrist, and I'm like, okay.
Well, maybe because maybe in case you twitch or something while you're out.
I don't know, maybe.
But that's still, I would rather they do that once I'm out though, not
yeah, or at
when
least
I'm
let
awake.
me know hey, we're gonna strap you down.
Yeah.
Because of this.
So they didn't give you any warning that they were gonna strap you down?
No.
Or that they were gonna cover your eyes?
No.
Did they say, hey, we're covering your eyes now?
No.
They just did it?
Yeah.
Oh heck,
Yeah, and then, so they put I think it was the gas mask.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after that, she covered my eyes, and I'm like, okay. And then I kept my eyes open because I could still see a little bit underneath. And then I was looking around, and then I'm like, no, I should just close my eyes because I don't want to see anything. And then after that, I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything at all. All I remember was being at my mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
So you don't remember walking to the car, being in the car?
No, nothing at all.
Sending me a picture?
No. No, and apparently you're not the only one I sent a picture to. So I guess I sent one to the group chat from my work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent one to my cousin. And then I sent one to my husband, which I was with him. And
just in case he forgot what you look like while you're sitting next to him.
Well, I think when I sent it to him, he had gone to go get my medication.
Oh.
So I was alone in the car. And then I sent one to my mom and you.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I know. I was like, I don't even remember doing all this.
Because you were texting me. So
I know,
I thought you were fine. You didn't
know.
seem any... it's not like you were texting anything weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe you had sent it after you were already had been out for a while.
No.
Oh
and then I went back to look at my messages, and I'm like, oh shit. I think for my group chat, for my coworkers group chat, I said hey, I didn't die.
That's a good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you said anything.
Oh no, I said I made it, y'all. And then
I made it.
I sent him a picture of my mouth all swollen.
Oh
I look
God.
drugged out.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I guess I was texting the whole world that I made it out of my surgery.
You're a survivor.
Yeah. But yeah, how have you been?
Good. My life is just routine. Go to work, come home, take care of Wally.
But you didn't do anything over the weekend? What about Father's Day?
So Saturday, the Saturday before Father's Day was my brother's birthday. So we went out to breakfast, and then we went to the park for a little while. And then Father's Day also landed on my father-in-law's birthday. So we kind of had like a carne asada at the house, and with my fiance and obviously his family, because it was their dad's birthday. But yeah, we didn't do much, just a little barbecue in the back. It was nice, simple, just us.
Yeah, what did I do? I went to my in-laws, my sister-in-law's house. And I shouldn't have gone because I had surgery Friday, and we went out. And then we went out Saturday too for a baby shower, for my husband's co-worker baby shower. And I felt fine, but I felt fine because I was on all these pills that I was taking. And then Sunday came, and then we're like, we should just go, I feel fine. But then I ended up feeling it really bad on Monday. So I was feeling like I was in a lot more pain, and I was more swollen than what I was Saturday morning. And then my mom was telling me like, it's because you've been out in the sun, you've been doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Mexican moms. She's like, te tienes que quedar en la casa, te tienes que cuidar. I'm like, okay. But like, I didn't want my husband to miss out on these things because of me. And then he had originally planned to go by himself with Leah. But then I'm like, no, like, I know you're gonna need the help.
Yeah.
Even though I couldn't carry her and help him with her, I still wanted to be there to just, let him know that you need to do this because she's feeling like this. You know, like, just be there.
Yeah, and then I'm sure it's like more comfort for her too to just like see you and be around you.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did, because on Saturday, it was just all his co-workers. So he was, spending time with them. And I noticed that Leah was just not a distraction, but how do I say it? Like, he wasn't able to entertain them because he was busy with Leah. Yeah. So then that's when I would step in and like hold her for him, so he could, be walking around with his coworkers or just talking with them or even eating. Yeah. Because him holding her and eating at the same time, he couldn't, because Leah's at the point where whatever she sees, she grabs. And she pulls. So yeah, like, I was glad that I went for that. And then Sunday, he could have gone by himself with Leah, but the thing was that it was a drive. So he would have been alone in the car with her for like a 30-minute drive. Yeah. Because they live in Riverside, I want to say. So yeah, I didn't feel comfortable with him driving that far out by himself. Because, like, she doesn't like to be in the car alone for too long. Yeah. So that's the only reason I had gone. But yeah, like, I should have just stayed home because I was in the worst pain Monday. And then that Sunday too, I was feeling horrible. Like, right before we got to their house, I was feeling the worst. Like, it was hurting so bad. Like, that pain when you feel it
like throbbing. Yeah, pulsing.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it was horrible. I cried. Oh no. I was crying in the car, and I told him, like, just park, give me like a few minutes to like put myself together. And then he pulled up to the garage, and they were out there, and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna see me crying. So I had to clean myself up and like put myself together. And they're like, oh, come in. I'm like, yeah, just give me a minute.
Give me a second to recover. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's a lot. Especially like having to, like, it was already a few days of like doing things and like having come out of the surgery and stuff.
Yeah, like, but I mean, thankfully I had my mom's help during the week, and I stayed with her, and during that week I was able to recover.
And do you still have this week? off?
Yeah, I still have this week off. So last week I had it off because they don't start summer school until tomorrow, the 27th. And I requested this week off because I just wanted to be 100% recovered before I go into work, because I can't do any heavy lifting, and I can't let anyone hit me near my chin area, because then those 4 teeth will fall off.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's that bad. So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna stay.
Yeah, especially because you
week.
Work with kids, and kids are unpredictable. Anything can happen.
Well, I work at a kitchen, so I don't really directly deal with the kids. We just make their food.
Oh, that was when you worked with the YMCA, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, even then, we'll do lifting, and we'll be doing a lot of stuff. So I was like, I don't want to risk it and lose my teeth over that.
Oh no. And then you're still kind of recovering, so I think another week off would be better safe than sorry.
Yeah, even now when I'm talking, it feels weird because it feels tight. I don't know, it feels really weird and gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm recovering.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to a Tiger Belly show yesterday. If anybody knows the podcast Tiger Belly, it's with Bobby Lee and Kalila. And I didn't end up going because the weekends are the only days I have with, full days I have with Ollie. And I was just well, I don't want to leave, because we were supposed to leave at 5. So I was I don't want to leave at 5 and then get home and she's already asleep.
Yeah.
And then leave tomorrow morning, today in the morning, to do this. So 30 minutes before we left, I ended up just being telling my fiance, you go, I'll stay home with her.
Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't end up going. It's just the whole I don't know, I felt guilty. I was just I can't leave her, even though she would have been totally fine.
Yeah.
But it was just I work all week, I only have her in the afternoons, so I was just I don't want to leave her. And then she was getting all sweet and cuddly with me, so I was just God damn it. So I ended up staying. Yeah, I don't know, I felt mom guilt.
No, I felt it too during this past week, because like I said, I couldn't carry Leah, only because she's very active, and at any moment she could have hit me in my chin area. And I just felt so horrible because I couldn't carry her, and she wanted me to carry her, and I just couldn't. Oh. And I just felt so horrible the whole week.
Yeah.
And then finally, what day was it? Saturday, I was able to hold her. She still hit me, but it was gentle. It wasn't as hard as I thought she would. And it wasn't as bad because I was, almost recovered.
Yeah.
But yeah, mom guilt is one hell of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when we would go out to meet about the podcast, I felt horrible leaving her. I just felt why am I doing this to my daughter? Why am I leaving her?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
hard, and it's not something that's even logical, because it's okay that we leave them for a little while, but it's still that thought of oh shit, I work all week, and then I'm gonna and I think that's why we were trying to do at least do 2 in one day, and then that way we have at least the next 2 weeks to we don't leave them every single weekend. But yeah, it's hard. It's before we started doing this, I think I had only ever gone to the store by myself a handful of times in the how old is Ollie? She's almost 2. So in the past year and a half, I literally only, before starting to come here, I had maybe only gone to Target by myself once or twice. I had gone to the grocery store once or twice, and then when we went to meet up, when we decided we were going to do this,
Yeah.
that was literally the first time I had just gone out with, like, you, my friend.
Yeah.
I had never just done that. I had never just gone out.
How did you feel at that moment?
Horrible. Horrible. Like, the whole way there, I kept thinking, like, why? Like, I should be home with her. Like, even though she's totally fine, she's with her dad, like, you know. But it, like I said, it's not, like, a logical thing. It's just, like, you have, I don't know, I guess you feel that, like, need to be with your baby. You know, even though she's getting bigger and she's fine and she's with her dad. And it was only for, like, a couple hours. We weren't even gone that long.
No, I think we were out for, like, an hour at most.
Yeah. So, like, including the drive, it was, like, an hour and a half being away from her. And she was totally fine. But it's still, like, I don't know, it's hard to, like, leave them. Yeah. Especially when they're, like, still small. You know, I feel like it's harder.
Yeah, I think it was the worst when we went back to work.
Yeah.
That's when I cried. 3 weeks before I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, like, how can I do this to her? Like, she's so used to being with me.
Yeah.
She wakes up to see me.
Yeah.
Like, she needs me. Like, she depends on me.
Yeah.
And, like, every time I would think about it, I would just start crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this to my daughter. Like, she's so tiny.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like, I expressed it to my therapist, and she's like, it's okay. Like, you're only going to be gone for a couple of hours. And you have to understand that your life, you know, has to move on, you know, like, you have to keep going. And she's like, you're human. You deserve your alone time. Your alone time with your friends. Just because you're a mom now, it doesn't mean that you have to be a mom full time. Yeah. Like, she's saying that we need that alone time to take care of ourselves too. Because then it gets to us and we feel like we're stuck in a routine. Yeah.
And then I think that's the hard thing about it too. It's like, it's the struggle between, like, wanting to take care of our kids 24/7, but also wanting to have adult interaction, you know, because it's one thing to, like, only interact with, like, your significant other, and it's a whole nother thing to have, like, friends and stuff and do other activities, you know, that don't include, you know, your husband or your kid. Like, so it's kind of that struggle of, like, well, I want to be social and I want to hang out with, like, you, my best friend, but at the same time, like, I feel this constant, like, guilt and need to, like, be with her, you know. I think it was the hardest for me too. When I went back to work, I cried too. I cried so much. Like, I got pregnant and stuff. I was always like, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I think I would need to go back to work. You know, I would see it in the logical sense of, like, I need that separation. I need to be a person too. And then I got pregnant and then I had her and then the day came and I was just like, can I stay home? Like, I would much rather be a stay-at-home mom, you know, because it's like, I chose to have her. You know, we decided that we wanted to have a baby and we chose to have her, and then it's kind of like that feeling of, like, so I chose to have her so that somebody else could take care of her half the time. You know, like, that's how I feel. And, like, Caesar, you know, he was just like, it's not like we're leaving her just to leave her. We're leaving her because we have to. We're not just going out and, like, blah blah blah. Like, we're going to work. We're going to provide for her. You know, but it's still, like, it's still hard to kind of think of it in a logical sense, because when you're a parent, I feel like it's not logical. No. You know, it's not. It's like you have all of these feelings, and, you know, she was barely 3 months old when I went back to work, because I only got 6 weeks off, so she was barely 3 months old.
So you only took the time off that they give you to recover from?
No, I took that and the bonding.
Oh, really?
The baby bonding.
6 months.
No, gosh, I wish it was 6 months.
Oh.
No, it was 6 weeks of, like, the postpartum, and then it was 6 weeks for baby bonding time. Oh. So she was only, like, 3 months old when I went back to work, which was hard because she was, like, she was so tiny. And then I kept telling Caesar, I was like, I have this fear that, like, what if she starts calling her babysitter mom, or, like, what if she, like, doesn't want me when we pick her up?
I know, that was my fear too. I was thinking the same thing, because my mom babysits her.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, she's gonna confuse her for her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Even though she's her grandma, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm her mom.
Yeah.
Like, she should be wanting me, not her grandma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Like, it's hard. That's another reason why I'm kind of holding back on working full-time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think my mom would be able to watch her full-time because she works as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want her to love this other stranger more than what she loves me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, it's just hard thinking that this other person is gonna be watching her for half of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, get close to that person.
Yeah, and then it was also, like, the fear of, like, what am I missing out on? Like, what if she started, like, obviously when I had first gone back to work and she was smaller, I was like, well, what if she starts crawling and I'm not there? Mm-hmm. What if I miss her first steps? Yeah, which I want to say I know for sure I was there for her first steps. Caesar was in the bathroom and she had gotten up and I ended up scaring her. Oh. Because she took a step and I was like, oh my God. And then she ended up, like, getting scared and she, like, fell on her butt and then she didn't walk for a while after that. But, you know, luckily I was there for her first steps. But it was still, like, you know, that fear of, like, what if she says something and I'm not home? Because even now, like, I'll get home and, you know, she's starting to talk so much. So, like, sometimes I'll get home and she, like, knows a new word. Mm-hmm. And that's hard, you know, to, like...
You're like, oh, I missed it.
Yeah, like, that was my biggest fear, was, like... And it still is. It's like, what am I missing? You know, what firsts am I not going to be there because I'm working?
Yeah.
You know, so that's hard.
No, yeah, I know where you're coming from. I don't know if our if our significant other feels the same way, because, you know, I don't know if they have that same bond as we do, because you know, we carried them and we gave birth to them, so obviously we feel more attached to them. So I wonder if they ever get any guilt.
Yeah, I think they do, because, like, I know this was recently, this was like maybe like a few weeks ago, Caesar was listening to this podcast and he like texted me, he's like, sorry, I'm gonna say it, don't be embarrassed, babe, but he said that he, like, legit, like, kind of got teary-eyed and he started crying because they were talking about, like, they're both comedians and one of them was saying, like, asking the other one, because his daughters are already kind of older and his daughters are younger, and he was asking the other one, he's like, how do you do that? Like, how do you balance, you know, being on the road so much and like raising your daughters? He's like, because I feel like I'm watching my daughter grow up through a phone screen. You know, because they travel and stuff like that. And then we talked about it on the way home, because I ended up listening to the podcast too, and he's like, I started crying because, like, I feel that too. He's like, I know that we have to work, but it's still that guilt of, like, we're not with her, you know. And I was just like, I was like, why do you think I asked so much, like, if I can stay home? And, you know, but unfortunately, like, we're not complete, like, if we want to do the things we want to do, I have to work, you know. It's like, if we want to stay where we're at, I can stop working. But if we want to sort of, like, you know, progress and stuff, like, we both need to be working, you know. But I think he does, you know, I think he does feel it. I don't know if we feel it more, because, like you said, I feel like we have more of, like, a bond with them. Like, I saw this, I don't know how true it is, because it was on TikTok, but I saw this TikTok where they said that most of the time a baby will say dada first because they see their mom as an extension of themselves. So when they say mama, is because they finally see you as another person, but before that they see you as, like, themselves, because that's so I was just like, oh. I was like, wait, I think Ali said mama first, so what is that saying? But yeah, so I don't know, I mean, I don't want to say that I hope they feel the guilt as bad as we do, because I don't even want to feel the guilt.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I don't know, is that how we measure our bonds with them? Like, hey, how guilty do you feel when you're hurt? Yeah. But yeah, like either way, he doesn't, like, neither of us go out, like, by ourselves much either way, because it's that whole, like, he was the one saying, like, on Friday, he's just like, I don't know if we should go to the show. Really? Yeah, he's like, I don't really want to go to the show. He's like, me wanting to go to the show is right here, and then he, like, put his hand, and then he put his other hand higher. He's like, but my guilt about leaving Ollie is up here. Oh. And I was just like, yeah. And then I was the one, like, saying, no, like, I think we should still go, like, yeah. You know. So he was just like, I don't know. And I was just like, no, like, we should still go. We haven't gone out with just us two in a really long time. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up staying. I ended up staying home because the guilt overtook me. And then he's just like, well, since you're staying home, I feel better because she's with you. Yeah. So I don't know if maybe that minimizes their guilt. Their guilt, because when they leave them with us, yeah. And they know for a fact that there's no better person to take care of our babies than their moms.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if my husband has ever felt guilt leaving her, because we've gone out a couple times. Mm-hmm. And we've left her with my parents. No, I think the only time we did go out was a day we went to an Angels game with his co-workers. She was only supposed to stay there for a couple hours until the game was over, but she ended up spending the night because their co-workers wanted to go out to eat afterwards. Mm-hmm. So then we went to go eat with them, and it was already late. It was like about to be 10. Mm-hmm. And around that time, that's when she's sleeping. Yeah. So I told him, I'm not gonna go pick her up and have her being all fussy at the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So then he was okay with it. Like, he wasn't like, oh no, let's just go home. Mm-hmm. Instead of him saying like, oh, let's go home.
So were you expecting him to say, let's go home then? Or
yeah. Yeah, but I think also because he was a little bit buzzed already. Mm-hmm. No, he was drunk. Mm-hmm. He was drunk. He was not buzzed. I think he just wanted to be out with his friends. Yeah. So then that's why I was like, okay, like, I'll just let him enjoy himself with his co-workers, and I'll let him have this night, even though I'm gonna be feeling horrible because I'm not home with her, and she's mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go home to her. Mm-hmm. She's gonna be at her grandma's. But yeah, I really don't know if he's ever felt guilty. I've never really asked him. Mm-hmm. And I think I've never really asked him because we never go out without her. Yeah. Like, every time we go out to go eat dinner, like, on basically our date, we take her. So it's not really a date, I guess. But yeah. Yeah, I've never really asked him. But the times that we have left her,
he seems fine.
He seems totally fine. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know, like, I think that's, like, one of the biggest reasons I refused to have help with her, like, mm-hmm. when we first had her, was like, no, like, she's our baby, we decided to have her, like, we have to do this ourselves. Mm-hmm. And Caesar would be like, well, we should let my mom help, like, she really wants to help, like, I think she can take her so we could sleep a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I completely refused. I was like, no, I was like, I can't, like, I don't want any, I was just like, we signed up for this, like, we decided to have her. I was mm-hmm. like, so we're not gonna, like, give her off to somebody else to, like, soothe her. And then I was just like, if it's, I was like, it's so hard right now. I was just like, and this is a time where, like, we have to, because she had really, really bad colic that first month. And so I was just like, if we can't do it when it's this tough, mm-hmm. how are we supposed to do it later? Yeah. It's like, we need to be able to work through it right now, because it'll help us going forward. I was just like, but he was always like, I think we need to let her help, and it's okay to ask for help, and this and that. So back then I felt like he didn't feel the guilt as much, but also I can understand, because having a newborn is really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I think, looking back, I think it's, well, no, I haven't changed my mind. I was gonna say, looking back, I think it would have been okay to have the help, but I still stand by my decision to not, because I was just like, it's not like she was an accident. I was like, so we signed up for this. Like, we knew that it was gonna be hard. Obviously we didn't know that it was gonna be that hard, but and there's times now where he's like, oh, well, why don't we like when we want, because we want to get married, and he's just like, well, what if we like go on vacation, or like go at least have a weekend?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I've spent one night away from her.
Yeah.
And it was because almost everybody in the house got COVID.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was one night where like he had gotten, like, we were both really, really bad. Like, thankfully she had it, but she was like completely fine. I was like, but I was vomiting, and I had the runs, and my body felt like I had been hit by a truck.
Oh, no.
And it was just hard. And his parents were like, just take some NyQuil and go to sleep. Like, you guys need it. And as soon as I woke up in the morning, I went to get her, and I was just like, never again. I was just like, I only fell asleep because of the NyQuil, but I was fighting that shit hard, because I was just like, my kid, like, I know she's literally in the next room, but like, no, like I need my kid, and so the thought of like leaving her, I don't know, I can't justify it in my brain. Like, I can't justify like leaving her for more than necessary. Like, I couldn't justify leaving her for a night. It makes me sad. Yeah.
No, I get you. Like, we didn't get COVID. We got the stomach flu.
Oh,
and it was bad. I had it really bad. I think it was Saturday morning. And I ended up going to urgent care because I was feeling super nauseous. Like, I couldn't be standing for too long, because then I felt like throwing up. And it was just horrible. And my husband felt fine up until later that evening, and he ended up going to urgent care later that night too. And I couldn't hold her, like, I couldn't put her to sleep because I felt so nauseous, and I kept throwing up. I kept going to the restroom, and my body was not capable of taking care of her. And then my husband got to him too, like, he was good for the morning, but then later he was just not feeling it, and we had to come to a conclusion that my mom had to come and pick her up and spend the night with her, because we didn't want her to get sick with us too. And because that day I don't think I was near her for that often, because I didn't want her to get sick. So then we're like, she has to go with my mom, because I didn't want her to leave, but I knew logically she had to. Because one, she would end up getting sick. Two, my husband and I weren't capable of taking her. And three, we were both just so exhausted. So when they came and picked her up, I started crying. Like, I felt horrible sending her off with my mom. And my husband, I think he was sad too, and he was just there trying to reassure me, and he's like, she'll be fine, she's with your she's with your mom, and we needed to do this because she's gonna end up getting sick, and it would have been a lot worse on her, because she's little, like, she can't tolerate what we could, and even then, like, they couldn't give her anything because of how little she was. But like, it felt horrible just going to sleep without her. But then the next morning I felt so much better, and I felt like a better me, and I was able to take care of her. So in a way I felt okay with her leaving, but not 100%.
Yeah.
I think it is also helpful that we let someone else help us, because, you know, we get tired and, you know, we get overstimulated, and we end up giving them the worst of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, having that, you know, at least 10-15 minutes of someone else helping us with the baby benefits us.
Yeah.
Because then they get the better version of us. And that's how I try to think of it when someone else is helping me with her.
Yeah.
Like, not being my husband, you know, like maybe my mom or my siblings helping me with her. I always try to comfort myself when I get that guilt feeling, by saying, you know, like right now I am mentally exhausted, I am physically exhausted, and I can't take care of her. And her being, you know, being all fussy and crying is just gonna end up me lashing out at her. Well, not lashing out, but like, you know, being frustrated with her. And it's not her fault. Yeah. So that's how I always try to justify when I get those uncomfortable feelings of feeling guilty. Yeah. Like trying to, you know, tell myself like I need a little break, and it's okay to have a break. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit me, and she's gonna get a better version of me, because I had that little 15-minute break. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I need to work on too, because I don't do it like that. You're better for it. But yeah, I just, like, because I don't allow the help, Caesar and I lash out at each other, which isn't good. I was like, I've never like lashed out at her, but I lash out at Caesar because he's the only one there. I was like, I can't justify lashing out at her, but I could justify lashing out at you, which isn't good, because, you know, like at the end of the day, we're both feeling the same thing, and like at the end of the day, when she gets older, it's gonna be me and him. Yeah. So like we have to make sure that our relationship stays good, you know. But it's hard. Like the thing that I'm struggling with right now is Ollie's going to start going to daycare. Yeah. And right now, like, I'm okay with, like, it's better justification for me to have somebody like my brother or his mom watch her. Like, that's one thing, because I know that I can text them at any time, I know that I can call them at any time, I know that they'll be sending me pictures at any time that I ask, you know. And Ollie's gonna start going to daycare because, you know, she has to, basically. Like, I can't call out of work because somebody has an appointment and they can't watch her, you know, or like something happens and I have to stay home. Like, that's what we've kind of struggled with up until now. So he's like, this is the most like stable thing for her, is to go to daycare. And trust me, like, everything about this logically makes the most sense, because the daycare is, I'm not kidding you, 5 minutes from work. It is literally on the same street as going to work. We would have to make 2 turns and that's it. 5 minutes from work, you know. So it's not like, you know, we're not gonna have to get up that much earlier to drop her off. We can leave maybe 5-10 minutes earlier than we usually do. She will be right there. If anything happens, it's closer to get to her at the daycare than it is to get to her at where we live, because we live like 30 minutes from work. So it's like, it'll take me 30 minutes to get to her right now, as opposed to when she starts going to daycare, it'll take me 5 minutes. 2 if I'm really going for it, you know. So it's like, logically, and obviously it's gonna help her because she's gonna be with other kids, and she's gonna get that social interaction, and she is so smart, and she's gonna be able to learn even more. And I understand all of that. But the thought of her going to daycare makes me want to cry. And I don't know how to, it doesn't make sense in my brain, because it's like, logically, rationally, it makes sense, and it's not that expensive. We're gonna be paying almost the exact same thing we're paying now, you know. So like, it makes so much sense, and it's like, it's right, you know, for her to go to daycare. But I can't say yeah. I keep telling Caesar, I don't want her to go, and he's just like, giving, and even my coworkers the other day were like trying to make me feel better about it and giving me every reason that makes sense for her to go. And I was like, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. I know she's gonna be good. I'm gonna be right down the street from her. She's gonna learn. She's gonna get social in her. I get that. But I still have that overwhelming guilt of like, why are you letting somebody else take care of your kid? Like, you go to work for 8 hours, 9 hours, and your kid is like with somebody else. Like, how does, and it makes me feel horrible. And I'm like trying, which I'm making the first step, and I'm gonna go to therapy. And I made an appointment, and I'm gonna talk to my doctor about it. So I'm gonna start going to therapy, because I know I have a lot of like, and I know my childhood has a lot of play in it. I have abandonment issues. And obviously that gives me so much more separation anxiety with her, because I have this overwhelming like need to be there for her, because nobody was there for me. So I get it, and I know that it probably, a lot of it's, for me personally, stems from not having my mom around and not really having my dad around. So like, but it's hard. It's hard to
It really is, especially when it's someone you don't personally know. Yeah, I get it. But I mean, you're taking a step forward and getting the help you need. Because think about it this way, you're doing this now, and she's gonna get a better version of you. And you're gonna have that, not freedom, but like, how do I say it, you're gonna feel more comfortable doing more things for yourself, and you're gonna have more self-care for you. And at the end of the day, she'll have the better version of you. And you'll just, I don't know, like, it'll make you feel better to know that you're able to do things on your own and still have that time with her.
And I think that's why too, it's like we want to have another one. So it's like, I need to take care of this now, because it's just gonna get tougher with 2 kids.
It's gonna get a lot worse.
So, but it's like, it's something that I know I need to work on. And I made the appointment with my doctor, and hopefully I'll start seeing a therapist in the next couple weeks, or the next month or so. But I think I don't like, as much help as I'm gonna get, I feel like regardless there's still gonna be some guilt there, because we're still moms, and we're still have that overwhelming need to take care of our kids. And it's just nature, we're caregivers by nature. But hopefully that helps, and I can feel at least better about it, because it's like, yes, it's a stranger, but also it's like somebody his mom knows. So it's not a complete stranger,
it's someone they trust.
But like I said, it's like, it logically makes sense in my brain, but it also does emotionally, it makes 0 sense. Because I think about it, I'm like, I think that's what I keep going back to, is like, I chose to have her, so it's like, why am I not there for her? But I know I'm there for her, but it's still that sense of like, I'm not there for her. And I don't know, like, I told him, I was just like, if she cries, you're gonna have to take her, because I'm not gonna be able to keep it together.
You're gonna cry.
And I was like,
her.
I will legitimately cry. And then he's just like, but what about when she goes to school? I was like, legally she has to go to school. Legally she doesn't have to go to daycare. So it's like, all the reasons make sense, but it doesn't ease the like guilt that I feel, I guess.
It's tough.
It
really is tough. I mean, the only advice I can give you is, like I said before, you need to take at least a little time away from her and do things that you love to make you feel like yourself again. And just enjoy your life, and not feel like you're a mom 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, she knows you're her mom. She knows you're there for her. She knows you love her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're leaving her for like a whole week.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like a month. You know, you're just taking a couple hours of your day to feel like your old self.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you know, she won't really notice the difference because it's just a couple minutes, a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
As to like if you were gone a whole week, you know.
Yeah.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really do recommend that you get, well, yeah, they're taking the first step of getting the help.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like, also make an effort to do things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just tell yourself, you know, she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You need this alone time for yourself, for
Mm-hmm.
your own mental health. Because, you know, we're human and we need that adult interaction. And, you know, just get back to doing what we used to do before we became moms.
Yeah.
Because, you know, before I became a mom, I would love to do, you know, like my DIY stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, I really haven't had time to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even this whole week when I was with my mom, I was capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Because she was being watched by my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel like myself again.
Yeah.
Because I missed it, you know, like I missed my old self of not being able to do what I used to love.
Yeah.
And, you know, like once I was done doing what I was doing, I go back to Leah and, you know, she's happy to see me.
Mm-hmm.
She's excited and, you know, she seemed really happy being with my mom or with my siblings doing what she was doing before.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't really notice I was gone because she was so busy playing and
Yeah.
being with someone else that loves her.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that too. Like I said, I get it, you know, especially because it's like it's good for them to have interactions with other people, because imagine if like she had never been with anybody else and then like to not be able, like I know that I can leave her with her grandma. I know that I can leave her with my brother and like she's okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't like well, given we leave and she's still asleep,
Mm-hmm.
but like she's good. Like I know she's good. So like that gives me a little bit of comfort knowing that like she's not so sheltered that like she would have a heart attack if she were to be left with anybody else. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think because we've, you know, she's had a babysitter since I went back to work when she was 3 months old, you know, so she has she gets used to, she's gotten used to like knowing that she's going with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I feel like in the long run is gonna help, like when she actually goes to school and stuff. Like
Yeah.
she won't be, I'm pretty sure she'll probably still cry, but I think maybe she'll adapt faster because
Mm-hmm.
she's already used to, you know, knowing like, hey, between these hours mommy and daddy are not here and you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be in this place and we're gonna come home and we're gonna pick you up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, and like that kind of gives me some reassurance to know that like she's okay and she like you know, is starting to understand that like it's kind of a routine at this point. Like she knows
Yeah.
that like we leave and then we come back at a certain time, and she like knows what time we come back. Like I feel
Totally.
like she can sense it, because like the other day I picked her up from my sister's and she's just like, as soon as it hit like 4 o'clock she wanted to go outside, because they usually she'll walk with her like to
Yeah.
wait for us to get there. And the same thing when, you know, she stays with his mom, his sister will get home before me, and she knows that like when she gets home,
Mm-hmm.
soon after we're getting home.
Oh.
So she starts asking for us, and she's like,
Oh.
she's fine, she'll start asking for you guys around like 4, so she knows when
She
we get
knows.
home.
Oh.
Yeah, so like it's good because she's good all day, and then she kind of starts to know when we're supposed to be getting home.
Yeah.
And then it's like it is a really good feeling to like get home, and she like gets so excited to
Mhm.
see us, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of giving her the opportunity to miss us,
Yeah.
you know, which I guess is good in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's that like happy moment of like getting home to her, and like, you know, her like running outside to like greet us and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I don't know, I guess I'll talk to my therapist about it, see what tips she gives or they give me. I don't know. I haven't had one yet, but we'll see.
But yeah, it's hard. I know it really is hard. You know, I am glad that you are taking that first step and getting the professional help you need, because you know, I could give you like tips and advice, but you know, it's better to come from someone that has more experience in that field, you know, and someone that you could feel, well, I mean, I hope I don't make you feel like I'm judging you, like when you vent to me.
You're like the least. I know I could tell you literally everything. Even if you judge me, if I need to be judged, judge.
Oh my god. No, but you know, like it is good to get that help and have someone, you know, a complete stranger to vent to and just get their perspective of what they're hearing from you.
Yeah, and I think with the therapist, it's not a biased opinion.
Yes.
You know, because you know me, and like obviously you don't want to say anything to like hurt my feelings or like you don't want to judge me, but I feel like if it's coming from a complete stranger, they don't know me, so they're coming from a strictly like unbiased place. Like they're like, this is what it looks like from a person outside of your circle, like you know, from somebody who doesn't know you, and like they can give you a more like unbiased opinion, you know.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully that works out, because I know I need a lot of help.
And if it doesn't work with the first one, go for a second and third and fourth until you get the right one.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. It's just like it'll probably take a good minute to like find a good therapist that you're comfortable with, but to not get discouraged.
Yeah. Don't get intimidated by all of that.
But yeah, so hopefully, you know, obviously there's a lot more that I have to deal with other than mom guilt, but I feel like I should
see you guys next week.
Bye.